Welcome to the Scale Up Your Business podcast. My name is Zakia Ringgold, and I am a business owner, a Scale Up ambassador, and your host. Scale Up is an initiative created by LA21 CDC with primary support from the Philadelphia Commerce Department. Scale Up provides quality business planning, training, technical assistance, and resources for cohorts to scale up their businesses and to become successful, capable of creating jobs in Philadelphia and sustainable for years to come. In this podcast, we will get to speak with business owners and business experts in our network to share their stories, advice, and insights on entrepreneurship. On today's episode, we have Nija Wiggins, a ScaleUp graduate from Cohort 5 who is the owner of Corneeys. Welcome, Nija. Thank you so much for joining us. Nija, hello. Welcome to the
Hi.
podcast.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. We were so excited to see your write-up recently, and we've been trying to get many business owners on to share their story. So you are the owner of Corneeys. So can you tell us a little bit about what Corneeys is?
Well, Corneeys is a Philadelphia-based food cart that specializes in gourmet corn on the cob and popcorn.
So Nija, Corneeys is a very unique kind of concept. How did you come up with that?
Well, I came up with it when I was young, when I was a little girl. You know how you grow up and you feel like your family are the best cooks, the best chefs in the world. And of course, I grew up that way. So I always wanted to showcase how extravagant and delicious my family's dishes were. So I wanted to start like a restaurant or a food truck. So I decided on something that wasn't as expensive. So I thought about, okay, so what am I going to do? So I sat down with both of my aunts, my Aunt Nita and my Aunt Lisa, and we came up with corn on the cob. We chose corn on the cob because it was my favorite vegetable and it was something easy, something quick. It wasn't as costly to get. And a lot of people love corn on the cob, and I just ran with it. So I started selling corn on the cob.
Wow. And so when you started selling, I love the fact that you said it was something that was a favorite of yours, because they always tell us if you're going to go in business, do it with something that you love. So you got that one
Yeah.
right out of the park. And then your family being so involved in it, like your aunts. So what would you say as you were getting started with it? What were some of those challenges? So you figured out exactly what it was that you wanted. What were some of those things in terms of maybe even getting the corn on the cob, or were there any things that were surprising when you were getting started?
Honestly, the first step was being confident enough with myself.
Yeah.
I think that confidence is key. At first, I was just nervous about people liking it or
Hmm.
people even coming to try it.
Yeah.
And at first, it might have took me about 2 months to finally muster up the courage to believe in myself, to take the step forward to make it happen. And that was honestly the biggest challenge. The challenge is doing it
Hmm.
and believing that what you're doing is something that people want, because you want people to come, you want people to try. And that pretty much was my biggest challenge. The second challenge was, because I'm a mother of two, I have identical twin girls, being able to separate myself from being a mom into being a student and being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that I divvied out my time, giving time to my daughters, and then also giving time to a dream that I wanted to come true.
Yeah. Yeah. So the time, the balancing of the time, especially with mommyhood, did you go through any of that? They often call it mommy guilt, where it's like I'm
Oh,
spending
I
too
go through
much
that. I
time.
still go through that now.
And how
I
do you
still do.
overcome that? You
I
don't.
had to become selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my daughters, they don't want for anything. They,
Hmm.
they're very well rounded. They're beautiful girls. They have the sweetest personalities, and they're so loving. So I knew that I did a good job that I am. I'm doing a good job as a mom, but I also knew that I wanted to show them that whatever it is that you want out of life, it can happen. And sometimes you have to be selfish. Sometimes you have to do, that hard work, but understand that I am still here whenever you need. I am always available, and we're going to do it together.
Yes,
So
for
we're
sure.
doing it together.
Excellent. So going back to the corn on the cob,
Yeah.
what are some of those unique flavors? Because I saw that you have a jerk one and all of that. Or what are
So
some of your best sellers, I would say?
it all depends on the crowd, to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have stories behind the names of each of my corn. So I have the original, which I named after my father, and it's called the George. Because he taught me how to hustle. I say that all the time. He taught me how to hustle. I grew up and he had a candy store. So, my counting days and things like that, I get it from him. So I understand a little bit of business from him in that aspect. I also have the Lisa, which is a Mexican street corn. And that's the one that's kind of popular with the Mexican culture and things like that. And it has like cheese and like Mexican spices on it. And I named that the Lisa, and that's named after my aunt Lisa,
Nice.
who I absolutely love. Then I have the jerk one, and I named that the Calvin. And that was called the Calvin because one of my close friends is my daughter's their godfather. He's Jamaican, and he was a part of their birth. He's a doctor. He was there when they were born.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, I named that the Calvin after his background because he's Jamaican. And then I also have another one. It's called the Juanita, and that's named after my Aunt Nita. It's a deep fried Southern style corn on the cob, and it's delicious. And it reminds me of her, something sweet, something crunchy, and something in your face. And that reminds me of my Aunt
Wow,
Nita.
that's so unique. And it also showcases yet again that your family is through and through your entire business model, which I think is something really inspiring for other people
Thank
for sure.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we talked about some of the challenges. What were some of the, oh my gosh, this is really happening kind of moments for you in your business?
When I first started, I was cooking in my grandmother's kitchen. I was selling corn on the cob for about $2. And my family, of course, they supported me. They would come and they would buy. The oh wow moment for me is when people started showing up that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That
Like this
was
is
the oh wow.
real.
This is
Mm-hmm.
real.
Mm-hmm.
This is real. And then from there, I said, wow. So I knew that I was doing something. I was doing something that was in my lane. Like I was on the path to what I really wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah. And I know you were a part of the fifth cohort for Scale Up. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the Scale Up Your Business program?
Oh my God, I learned so much from Scale Up. I actually still talk to a few of the my cohort members that were in the class with me. They're really doing well, like really doing good as well. I learned a lot from them. I learned strategy. I learned how to figure out who your audience is. I understood accounting. They taught me a lot. And then they also offer business coaches that are geared towards what you're doing. So I had a really good business coach, Angela Vanetti. She was good. She owned coffee shops, and it's what she does. She coaches, and she taught me a lot as well.
That's fantastic. And so you're talking about the strategy. Do you have like a 5-year plan or like your next big milestone that you're working on for Corneeys?
Whew, I want to be the next big thing in Philly. I want to be one of the reasons why people come. It's something in my ear. I'm so sorry. I want to be the reason why people come and visit Philadelphia, like the Rocky statue, or to come and get a cheesesteak or a water ice and a pretzel and
And the
things like that.
corn.
No, exactly. Nobody in the United States is doing what I'm doing. Outside of the United States, for that matter, they're not doing what I'm doing. And the best way to give back to the city that was a part of raising me is by bringing in people to come see me and just bringing more visitors. I feel like that'll be my best way of giving back to my city. So I want to be that staple. I want to be inside of the Lincoln Financial Field. I want to be on the boardwalk as well. And then ultimately, I want to have me a brick and mortar, like a small brick and mortar, something quick, something. So those are a couple of my goals that I have written down actually up here, that I plan on doing within the next 5 to 10 years, because I know it takes time.
Wow, very ambitious. And based on everything that you've said so far, I don't see a problem with you achieving any of those, especially a flagship store, because I was going to ask, how do people find you in order to actually taste your corn on the cob?
Oh, yeah. So if you guys were to follow my social media, all of my social medias are Corneeys. So Corneeys. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. You can also follow me on TikTok. I do videos on TikTok as well. I'm new to TikTok. I'm not a TikTok girly, but I'm definitely an Instagram and Facebook girl. But they can follow me on there because I pop up in different locations. And I also do a lot of the food truck festivals in the city and around this in the surrounding areas as well.
Fantastic. So staying connected with you on social media would be a great place to know where you're going to be and run down there and get the original all the way down to the ante. So yes, for sure.
Yes.
So the last question that we always ask is, what advice, and I think you hit on a few pieces of those advice with your lessons learned, but what advice do you have for a new business owner or someone that's just getting started or considering getting started? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And to always be a student. You don't know everything. So going to cohorts like LA21 and the different ones that are within the city will always help you build up your business. Even if it's something that you continuously hear at each of the cohorts, it may be something that you might have missed. That you may have missed. So it's good to always be a student at all times because you don't know everything. And to also what you learn, share with others. Play it forward because it'll help you continue to get the blessings that you deserve as well by blessing others. And I would also say, be confident. Be confident in yourself. Be very confident in yourself.
Well, Nija, it has been an absolute pleasure. I think that is really solid advice. I'm so excited to actually get to taste your corn because I'm heading over to your social media right now to follow. And if I find anywhere that you are, I will definitely be there to not only support, but I don't necessarily call it support. I am a greedy person. And if there is something good, and corn on the cob is one of my favorites.
Yes.
So congratulations with everything. Much success to you. And we really appreciate you sharing your story on the Scale Up podcast.
You guys as well. Just to let you know, I am seasonal. So I'm from spring to fall. So make sure you guys follow me on social media. Make sure you come and check us out. Come be a family with me. Okay. Because food is fellowship. Okay. We take in everyone. Food is fellowship. Come see us.
Absolutely. And there you have it, folks. Thank you for joining us on the Scale Up Your Business podcast. All of Nija's handles will be in the show notes, but you got it here. It's Corneeys. Corneeys on your social media platform of choice, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, or maybe even TikTok. You will find her there. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Guys, thank you, Nija. Thank you.
You're welcome.